Should be working. How does that sound? How do we look? How's the sync? Because I had to do some things. Let me know how that sync is. And I was saying before, nothing important, just saying hello, welcome in. We're gonna hang out for a little while. We're gonna do some fun stuff. We're gonna talk about some things, and we're gonna critique pours, and we're gonna talk about what happened last night at this throwdown, where they did an entire Cockcino round, and I was judging. So I got to point at people's Cockcinos. And so we're going to do the Cockcino roundup, but it's going to be from the pours from last night, which is super fun. I've added the chat to the screen for you guys. I felt like last time we were just staring at the thing, you know what I mean? This thing. Hold on, where is it? This thing. The Discord. I've got a lot of different stuff going on. Things look good. I was trying to get a chat in. That's what I was saying earlier. I was trying to get a chat box in my studio, but I can't really get that to go. I don't know why it's not working. Maybe it just doesn't work. Maybe it's not a thing. But I can't really read, so I had to make like a second YouTube channel attachment. It's a whole thing, guys. I'm doing God's work. Sorry if you're religious. I am God. Not really. So the last time we were here, I want to wait for a lot more people to come in, but I will start getting started. Where even are we actually in terms of people? Oh, I'm not even live. Or I'm live, but I'm not even viewing my live. That's crazy. Let me just log in really quick so that I'm watching what you guys are watching, and so we're all in the same world. How's everybody doing? Chit chat. I want to see the chat start working. I haven't seen it yet. I need to go look at it. So you guys just talk in the chat. I do see the colors. I gotta zoom in on it. Oh my goodness, guys, it's been a busy week. Sorry I didn't do this more. I meant to do this earlier in the week, and then I got ready to do it, and then I had to leave, and then I was having technical difficulties, and I switched completely the studios I'm using to broadcast this. We do have some fun new features. So if you were to unsubscribe and resubscribe, this would happen. Sleep paralysis demon. Thank you for subscribing. I can also make you do that over and over again, which is kind of fun. What was I doing? Oh, YouTube Studio. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the live so I can see what we're doing. There's so many methods to do this, and I'm picking I think the most convoluted way to do it. There we go. Wait, can I not watch it live? What's this nonsense? It's fine. My goodness. I'm using a new streaming platform, and so it's like, there we go. Found it. I found it. All right, we're in. Okay, cool. We're so in. Okay. Wow, we've already got 18 people here and 105 viewers. So I wanted to kind of talk about some things. Why does the base start splitting on the sides? There's a lot of reasons it could start splitting on the sides. Either you're starting too soon, or you're throwing it too hard, or you're asymmetrical, or there's like a blob on one side that just happens to be in your milk, you know, like or the crema sucks, you know, there's a lot of reasons. Can you join the Discord? Discord. I actually said it how you wrote it. Discord. You can go join it if you would like. I should have updated the link. Let me know if it works. I tried to do the infinity link. Last time I did it, I didn't do the infinity link, and everyone got on to me. Remember to guard your privacy, guys. That's what the YouTube chat just told me. How is everybody? We're going to get started in just a second. So I wanted to do a little thing today. Yesterday I was at a throwdown, and I also wanted to show you guys this. So I am raising donations for like gender affirming surgeries later in the year. And how do I show you this? When you donate a super chat, it should fill up this bar down here. Does that work? I see the chat, I see the bar, but I really can't read it from here. So kind of cool. For now, I'm going to keep it here. I think it's supposed to pop up on its own, but I'll open it later. But I want to keep it kind of like clean on the page for a while. Okay. So last night I was at a throwdown and I saw one of the competitors who was so talented shaking a lot, like one of the most violent shakes I've seen in a long time. Mad respect because they went up there and still did it, and it's like so under pressure. And I was in the background. I was like, it's nothing. It's nothing. This is nothing. You got this. It's not even anything. It's just a little throwdown. But they had such bad shakes that I wanted to kind of talk about the shakes a little bit. And I wrote down, I will make this into a longer video. I don't know if I'm going to chop this up or if I'm going to go make another video. But for anybody who's like just here, this is a really great place for you to watch that, where you don't have to go and watch it somewhere else. You can just, hang out here and I'll talk to you about it. You're so sweet, DJ. Did it pop up? It popped up your donation, but it didn't show the bar. I'll keep the bar up for now. Anyway, I wrote down a bunch of tips that I have for how to stop the shakes. Now, sleep paralysis demon. Thank you for the subscription. Who was that? Simon. Thanks for subscribing, Simon. You just got a sleep paralysis demon on standby. That's for you. One more time for that sleep paralysis demon. I'm going to bring it back. Come back. Oh, you son of a... I may have done it a bunch of times. We'll see. I really like this. This took a little while to figure out how to do this. This is from the video from last time when we were like looking at crazy videos to put in the weird cutscenes that I did. Is it the same person or is that a new person? Is the same person. Okay. I'm going to TJ. That's so funny. Y'all are so funny. Oh, that was not you, DJ. That's so interesting. My notification bar tells me when you send a super chat and when you subscribe. So I got them mixed up. That's cool. All my weird, I've got a bunch of these like queued up videos, and we were planning out different ones the other day. I think we were doing that on stream, and one of them was the sleep paralysis demon, and so, or it was like this guy, and so I like extracted him, I sucked out his soul, and I turned it into like this see-through GIF, and then turned it into a web. It was so hard. It took like 30 minutes to do because I had no idea how to do it. Is it useful to record my latte art and review it on my own? Yeah, of course. You would definitely, Dan. Oh, also, hi, Dan. You should be able to spot your own mistakes. One of the tips I usually give people when they are learning latte art is to record themselves, because that's how you learn. I extracted him is constantly thinking of coffee terms. It's true. I'm always thinking of it. I have water today, though. Actually, I had tea. I had Earl Grey tea, which I could definitely use more. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, so I wrote down, long-winded, I wrote down a bunch of tips for how to not have the shakes. And just so you know, you're never going to not have the shakes if you tend to have them. It's just that we want to mitigate them as much as possible. Most people could do sleep paralysis demon. Most people could do that's gonna be so much fun. I might change it eventually to something else, but I really like that sleep paralysis demon so far. It's really fun. Most people are doing could do a few of these things and it would really help them. So I wrote down a bunch. I actually wrote down too many. I was gonna make like a top 10 video, but there's not a big market for people with the shakes, and then let alone sitting through 14, because I wrote 14 of them. Can we name the demon? Yeah, name him. What do you want to name him? What's his name? Give me a few options and maybe I can make a poll and then we can vote on the name. It'd be kind of cool. That'd be sick, actually. That'd be sick. We're not naming it Lance, dude. That's how you start wars. That's crazy. Lance, come hang out with us. I remember last time we didn't make any phone calls either. I said I was going to do that and I didn't do that. I don't think I'm going to do that today, but we'll see. Steve is good, but then you're going to have people named Steve. I feel like he's got to have like a demon name. Have y'all ever seen the demon video I made? I wonder if I could find that and then use that as like a commercial. That would be fun. Anyway, I wrote down a bunch of ideas, or not ideas, things that I do to have less shakes at competition. Keep sending in the names, guys. We're trying to name, for anybody who just got here, we're trying to name this guy. He's coming. Wait, no, he's not. Now he's coming. Sleep paralysis demon. SPD for short. He's cool. He needs a name though. Latte fur. I like that. So where should we get started? I have a bunch. Some of these are kind of all over the place. So maybe I won't do all of them. Maybe I'll do a bunch. Okay. Do any of y'all even have the shakes? Where do I want to start? So one thing we can start with. Oh, this is a really good one. So what even causes the shakes? Do you guys know? Do you want to say in the chat? These are fun. What does that mean? Is that actually like a demon thing? Is that a name of a demon? Like originally? I don't know what that means. Just nerves. Oh yeah, nerves. You get stiff, not shaky. That's interesting. So when you say stiff, you don't. So sometimes people will shake and they get stiff because of the shakes. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't move through the shakes, if that makes sense. I would say that like being stiff is a form of nerves. If it's like locked, like your just body's like locked, that means you're definitely in that same fight or flight. Which answers my question. What causes the shakes? It's fight or flight. Yeah, I don't want to be too on the nose with the devil. He's not the devil. He's a demon. He's a sleep paralysis demon, as told by Zaya last time. So yeah, when you're dealing with the shakes in any competition. I used to do theater and shit like that, and I used to do I've done a lot of presentations and speeches. I used to have to teach to people. It's really hard to, I think, not have a little bit of nerves. And whether or not you're shaking, you're probably going to go into some form of fight or flight. If you're articulating with your fingers, like you have to do delicate motions and you're doing it for latte art, one thing that I've seen people do, and that I don't remember where I learned this, but it's helped me, and you'll see me at competitions do this. It's actually really aggressive. I will walk up to people and I'll be like, slap my hands. And they will slap my hand really hard and I'll go harder. Don't quote me on that. Slap them harder. That's what I would say. And I'll do it to myself, really hard until they basically turn red. Do you guys know why we do that? I probably might be the only person who does that. But do you know why I do that? I'll let you guess. Or I'll just cut right through. I know there's a time delay, so I'll give it a beat while I drink water. Do you guys like the chat on screen there? Or do you want it somewhere else? Just so we know. I could put it here. Or do you like it here? Oh, I have a prescription to this, and I still struggle to say it. Propranolol. Anxiety, yeah. Snap the head back in. This guy? What up, sleep paralysis demon? What was I asking you guys? Okay, you guys like it there. Okay, that's what you were saying. So the reason so I like to slap my hand at competition because when you're dealing with fight or flight and kind of general anxiety, one of the things that's happening is you are getting restricted blood flow. So a lot of blood is like leaving your fingers. You gotta hit those fingers and wake up the tips of your fingers. This helps you sincerely, like it's significant how much more you can actually move when you have blood flow in that area. So this kind of goes along with some of the other things I do. It's all this like mental thing. So like if you have the shakes, there's different categories of how they affect you. It could be like mental. It can be like something happens when you're up there in the moment. It can be your posture. For me, a lot of it's mental. And I think for a lot of other people too, I think like the shakes coming on means you clearly care about something. And so one of the ways I like to approach throwdowns specifically, and also competition. If you ever see me at a throwdown, I'm kind of like, I kind of don't give a fuck. Sorry if that's too vulgar, but one of the things I like to tell people is like, fuck this place. Like, honestly, screw this thing. What you're doing is cool. Maybe there's money on the line, sure, but like, if you're putting pressure on it mentally, it's much harder to achieve the goal you're trying to achieve. When you come in and you're like, what is it, a throwdown? I feel like I've won. Look, I've won throwdowns. You know what I mean? Like, fuck a throwdown. Fuck a throwdown. That's the vibe. I'm not saying you should be ungrateful for being there. I'm just saying that's the vibe. Because you come in, it's not arrogance, it's confidence. And just know that like you're spending your time there. You choose to be there. What the nerves have nothing on you. You chose to be there. It's your shit. So like I like to say like fuck the throwdown and fuck competition while I'm there. In the morning you'll see me being like, who cares? But there's all this mental stuff, this like a mental energy shift that we try to push towards. It's again, confidence, not arrogance. Arrogance is when you shake. When you're arrogant, you shake and you fail. And I've fallen on my face in the times that I've been arrogant. Whereas when I'm confident and I know what I'm going to do, it's different. So the entire morning of a competition, if you happen to have time to think about it, is all about getting in this headspace. I've been known to meditate. I used to meditate. I would listen to like very calm music in the morning. And then later I would transition to super braggadocious music. So there's this confidence again. We're trying to exhibit confidence and elicit confidence from ourselves. And it's not that confidence has to be artificial. It's not. It's just that a lot of like athletes will listen to braggadocious music when they compete. And a lot of athletes do it when they're in, like skiers do it. Everyone does it unless you can't have headphones on where you're doing it. But when you're practicing, it gets you in the right zone, or even prior. You'll see a lot of competitors listening to music. And that's kind of a double-edged sword because it can really screw you up what zone you're getting into. So like I said, I like to do meditation in the morning, get my head straight, meditate on why I'm here, why I'm doing this, and what's even the point. And then remind myself it's like, fuck the throwdown, fuck the competition. We're going to go in, we're going to do what we got to do. And we're going to do what we always do, right? And then shift to a different mindset, a mindset of like super hype music. Like I can't even think of a good example. Like anything rap, anything braggadocious is the best. You will see me at competition. I go behind the stage sometimes and I start dancing. I'm like up and down, like jumping, getting my body moving the blood around, just getting people to slap my hands. How are we doing in the chat? Everyone's being so quiet. Is it because I'm rambling so much? But yeah, all this headspace, very important. Fuck the throwdown, fuck the place. But go to have fun, Cool. Listening. I have more. So it's all this, like high pass music is big. Your mileage may vary because, it depends on what kind of music gets you where you're going. I've done a lot of competitions, and in the times that I've had more hype music are the times I've done better. And like I said, it's a double-edged sword because the music can bite you in the butt being either too slow, not really the right vibe, or maybe it's just the right vibe for you. Maybe you need calm, maybe you need hype, right? Some people are different. One time I was competing and I just opted to not have music. I kind of like that too because it makes you very present. But when I'm more present, when I'm more like, I like a tether. I like a little tether to kind of ground me. Because music is cool because when the beat comes back in, sometimes you can be like stressing. And I've had times where the beat will come back in and I'm like, oh yeah, wait a minute, I'm back here. And if I don't have that, I'm kind of relying on the music of the room because there is going to be music in the room, at least at competitions. Unless you're doing like, I guess, US, I don't know, you'd have your own music. But in the ones that I've done, they play crazy music. They played Cleaning Out My Closet once by Eminem. I was like, this is inappropriate. This is not appropriate. And one time they were playing Carly Rae Jepsen, which is great, but like while I was up there and it was like a really super chill song and didn't really help me. And I ended up just completely choking and I was not in the right hype space. Another time I tried to go up there on my own with my headphones and I was listening to the most chill music I could listen to. It didn't, you can request, I don't know if they'll do it for you. It depends on the competition. And the other times I've done like, in the times I've done hype music, it's just a different story. I'm like, bitch, what up? Fight me. And I get shark eyes and I like stare people down. It's crazy. It's a different thing. It's different Emily. It's different me. It's the competitive person in me. And again, like I said, it's all about confidence, not arrogance. The moment you get arrogance is the moment you start shaking or failing, or you just manifest bad energy. Another thing that'll probably get you if you're ever doing a presentation or you're nervous or you're at a job interview, this is going to be inappropriate. You're not going to like what I have to say. I've never done this, but you need to go to the bathroom and probably poop or something. Usually when you're at these competitions, like I think there's like a nerve gut. I think it's something about like your sympathetic nerve systems, or I don't remember. You know, that nerve, the vagus nerve, maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but when you're in a competition, I think a lot of people get nerve gut and they have to go to the bathroom. And if you try to not do that, you are going to struggle. And there's nothing worse than like you want to feel grounded in your body. This is the idea of getting that whole preparedness in your mind before, mind and body. So in the morning, eat something healthy. Eat like I know that like Prof, who's a world champion and a friend out here in New York, eats like acai bowls every time he competes. Very healthy. Don't drink coffee. Don't drink tea. Don't take any like substances that might stimulate you. And if you do drink tea, lean for like a lighter tea that's not as strong in caffeine and higher in L-theanine. L-theanine? L-theanine? It is your vagus nerve. Yeah, it is your vagus nerve. It's the one that touches your butt. When my cat's vagus nerve is activated when they use the litter box, sometimes they like start to freak out and they run around the house and they like do crazy things. But yeah, eat healthy. And then at the actual competition, make sure to go to the bathroom and drink a lot of water. That's another tip I have. Hydration is important. Your freaking brain shrinks and stuff. You need to be in the right headspace, the right physical space to actually conduct these pores. And you should be drinking water all the time, you dehydrated scumbags. Listen. So another thing you can do is sometimes with the shakes, I'll know I'm going to get the shakes. And so I'll strategize. And a way I like to do that is by using heavier gear. So for example, this will work. I'm a big proponent I always advocate for people to use bigger pitchers, you know. I just like the effect of being able to get closer sooner. The motions, you know, are much more broad. The scumbag demon's fine, but I will say I do be calling people scumbags on this channel all the time anyway, so I don't know if that's like special, but we can do that. For now, he's the scumbag demon. Anyway, the heavier your gear, the less the shakes are going to impact it, right? So if you're using a much lighter pitcher, actually, here's a good example. I have a Starbucks pitcher. Now, I'm not saying you have to go use the Starbucks pitcher, and this is a large pitcher, but the Starbucks pitcher weighs significantly more than this. I have never seen my shakes get affected on the rosettas that I pour in the Starbucks pitcher because it's so weighted. This doesn't translate. So if you are someone who tends to shake a lot more, it might be in your best interest to invest in heavier gear, or even like, I don't think it'd be that crazy. I've never seen someone do this, but I don't think it'd be that crazy to put like weights on your gear, like strapped weights. You know what I mean? I'm thinking of this as I talk to you, but I don't think that's crazy. I think that would actually like potentially help you. And same thing with cups. Like the lighter your cup, the harder it is going to be to control it during the shakes. So what you can do is, instead of holding it by the handle, which is something I tend to do, I love to hold it by the handle. It's just that when you're doing that, when you're shaking, it's a lot rougher than if you have it cupped under your hand. But you still should have good etiquette when it comes to preparing drinks and having cups. So don't ever put like your fingers on the rim, right? Keep them down here like a little dead spider. See what I'm saying? And that'll just be easier. I personally like to use the handle, but in comp, when I'm really nervous, you'll see me holding it like that. And another thing, speaking of holding and positioning, is a lot of people, you should always pour how you pour at home, right? But one thing I notice people that they train to do is to pour like with their elbows up like this, right? And that's fine. You can have your elbow up. But I've noticed My voice is going out because I was out late last night. So ignore my scrappy voice. But I've noticed that when I'm doing a top down view, so when I'm holding the picture like by my waist, I get a bird's eye view. Something about like the relaxed motion of your arms coming down and then looking over, it takes away from the shakes for me. When I'm up here and I'm stiff, I feel like the shakes are more intense than when I'm looking down directly on top, and I get the benefit of a bird's eye view, so I tend to not have asymmetry. So I can kind of land backwards perfectly, and there's no angle that my brain's messing up. Yeah, and that's a real thing. Another thing that happens when people shake is if you're shaking in the picture and you want to do the cut through, pull the cup down and move it. Just hold the picture still and use the cup as the way to cut through. Dip the cup down so that it's not you trying to move, it's the cups just moving out of the way, which will sink it because you're just creating that same thing. You're creating that sinking effect by moving it down versus the picture moving up. Let me see. Hold it, bird's eye view. Drink water. I know that's lame, but do it. Oh, here's some fun ones. Get to know your opponent. This is pretty big. A lot of people will be like, oh, who am I going against tomorrow? You know, and they'll like look into them. That's fine. Do what you got to do. It doesn't matter who your opponent is. I was one time in a competition and I like lost the first day and I was just like, oh yeah, but I went against somebody really good. And I forgot who it was. Either it was Cabell or Ryan Soder. It was one of the two, or one of them was quoting the other one. And they were just like, you know, when you come to these competitions, you should assume you can beat everyone. It's not a matter of who it's going to be. It shouldn't matter who it's going to be. It shouldn't matter who's going to go against you, whether they're a world champion or not. You're going to stomp them, right? And that's super true. I think that's super true. So it shouldn't matter who you're going against. Do you know what I'm saying? You're the only real opponent. Exactly. And that's actually another point, but it's okay. We'll have it right here. You are your worst enemy, right? It's all mental. It's all physical. You're the opponent. The more weight you put on it, the harder it's going to be for you. The more pressure you put on your pressure, the harder it's going to be. So we just need to like say like, you know, fuck it, and go and like lean into all of these things. I'll give you an example. When I was a lot younger, this is just the way I am. I was playing some horror video game. It's probably like, it wasn't Slender Man, but it was scary. That's not a scary game, but it was like that. It was that same time period, like 2014. And I just remember my instinct when Emily like hit the air a little too much and got a little too faded. My instinct was to always run at the demon things. I would die, in the game, or I would move on. But that was my instinct, is to always lean in. And so I'm just saying, like, you got to lean into these fears, because when you lean into the fears, honestly, unless it's actually a real demon, nothing's going to hurt you. Speaking of demon. Sorry, Scott. Listen, you are scum, okay? Y'all are scum. I'm going to get those totes that say scum chum or just scum bag. It's just going to be a bag. We're going to do it. I'm going to do it. So get to know your opponent. The reason you want to get to know your opponent, and I'm not talking about like being like a shark. I'm talking about like being friendly. Like, get to know your opponent and be friendly. Go walk up to them and be like, hey, follow them back. Like, if you don't already, and be a good person. Like, we're all here for, again, your opponent is not your opponent. And if you think like that, you're thinking in arrogance. And if you think in arrogance, you're going to lose. You are your opponent. Think in confidence, and you won't have to think in arrogance. So get to know your opponent. It is like I said, the game is your competitor, and you're the competitor. Sorry, the game is your biggest enemy, along with your feeling, but not the person you're going against. That's just ego. Another good one that's actually right here is try to laugh. So one time I was in a competition. I was very nervous, and I have this friend. His name's Rob. And he's just like he's like a monk. He's very stoic and sweet, and he takes photos at a lot of the competitions, or he used to. I don't know if he still does, but I haven't been back in a while. And we've just known each other for a long time, and he's just got a fun little smile. And one time I was about to pour, and I was steaming my milk, and I was freaking out, and I look up, and Rob is hired to take photos for Coffee Fest. So I look over the machine, and he's just looking at me, and he's like, and I couldn't help but laugh. Like I was like, what? And it makes me laugh now. It's just the cheeky little smile, and it like completely changed my entire vibe. And suddenly I am laughing while pouring, which is not good either. You shouldn't laugh while you're actually pouring. I've always wondered if I could in competition say something so funny that somebody starts laughing in that serious of a situation. I think that's a really strong strategy, actually. I got to work on it, but I do think that would be pretty amazing if I just was just so, I'm not that funny, but like if I was just like said something so funny that you ended up losing your round. Um, but like smiling, laughing, and your psychology has a big role in that too. Cause like as soon as you start smiling, your brain's like, oh shit, I'm actually in a good mood. And this isn't something I wrote down, but if there's a strategy to comp, I like to pour right over the plate that you're going to put your drink down in the specific comp that I usually do. And it can be really nerve wracking to do that because every movement I've taken has gotten me one step closer to the plate. I never go back unless I have to. So it's like this moment and it really builds and it builds up pretty intense. And you're right in front of the judges, which leads me into my next one, pour in front of the judges. This is a good, actually, maybe I'll come right around to this one in a second because I want to talk about one more that is, no, actually, we'll talk about this one. The brain can only be so stressed. You know what I mean? Like, you can only be so stressed. And there's two sides to this coin. I've poured really well in front of judges. Most times I do it. I tend to not think about it. Once I'm up there, I'm like, okay, we're doing this. And there's like a level of, again, confidence. Like if you know you're good at what you're doing, you will confidently be able to like walk up and do that. The other side of that coin is like, maybe you're like, oh no, I want to focus. Maybe it's loud or maybe you're at a throwdown. I've been at crazy party throwdowns where I'm like, I need to go to a corner and I'll like go to the corner and I'll pour. And there's something kind of nice about that too. It's like you're in this little world, right? It's just this little pocket, but you can't really always get that. And sometimes that's kind of a deflection tool. Like that's kind of like, oh, I need my safe space. We're trying to train you out of getting the shakes. We're trying to take you away from the fears. So the idea is to go in front of the judges. Nothing to lose. I'll do it right in front of you. I don't care. I don't even want to be here. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you really need to feel that. It's just hype shit. It's just hype shit. It's just the competitor in me talking, trying to be like, no, I love to be here. I'm passionate to be here. But like at the same time, like I'm pouring lattes, you know what I mean? Or I'm giving a speech. I give speeches all the time. So it is what it is. So it can be really applied to anything. Stand in front of the thing that scares you. There's no hiding. It's kind of like when you pour for the camera. There's like no hiding. So I used to shake when the camera would be on me. Now when somebody points a camera to me, I'm almost like, oh, cool, watch this. I'm going to show you something crazy. Or I'll pour like a Cockcino for fun, I want more in the chat, guys. We need more chat. Whoops. Let's get more chat discussion going on while I talk. I need to hear more from y'all. I kind of lost my space in the chat. Let me find it back again. I love y'all. Hello, everybody. So I would say pour in front of the judges. Get up in their face. Just be that person. It's the opposite vibe of safe and private. Another one that is in the similar vein that I was going to say before, but I really like this one the most because this is the thing that helps me, is when you come out on stage, in any stage, anything, when you come out and you're in a job interview, you're standing and you're in a show, you're doing a presentation, or you're competing. The first thing I do that makes me feel super grounded and ready to go is I stare everyone down. I'm not even kidding. Like I will walk out and the first thing I do is put my stuff down. I turn around to maybe the 40, 50, 100 people and I look them up and down in the eyes, one by one by one. Quickly, I'm not taking too long, but I'm not waiting. I'm taking my time. And this is true for interviews. You look them in the eye. It's your room. Just saying. You have the power. They have the power. It's 50-50, but like in an interview, but it's 50-50. So own your half. And I'm very frank in interviews. When I'm sweet, I'm nice, but then when it comes to the actual conversation, I'm like, let's get serious. And I'll look you dead in the eye. It's just important to do that. You have to make eye contact. So when you're out there on like a stage environment, and this is very true for theater. When I was younger, I used to be really shy, but when I started doing theater, I kind of realized, like, why am I shy when people came to see me for something? If they came to see me, then I get to be the way I'm going to be. I get to do whatever's maybe cringy, embarrassing, fun. People came to see the show. People came to see you compete. They came to compete. They're in the same boat as you. So you look out in the audience and you just equalize everyone. You just look them all up and down. It's kind of like when you imagine people in their underwear, right? But it's different. I look them up and down. And I'm not sizing anybody up. I'm just grounding. I'm using humans as the grounding tool. I'm saying all these eyes on me, that is not a threat. In fact, I will stare down the threat if it has to be. And that's like, that thing like changes me every time. It really helps, I think. Check out their butt. Yo, I've been there. I've checked out butts, you know. I'm kidding. I'm sweet. I'm sweet at those things. I did used to get a little more competitive in the past, and I would like stare down opponents, some shark eye shit. But then again, that was ego, and that really led me down a bad path where like I won, and then I was always chasing the ego rather than chasing the skill and the confidence, which is what got me to that win in the first place, you know? And so after that, I really misinterpreted what it means to try to win. I also recommend you'd practice with water and practice with pores and practice whatever it is you're actually doing, because this is just like in theater. Like the more you practice, when you mess up, you're only going to mess up as bad as you messed up when you practiced. So practice and practice consistently. I already have one. I already said there was one. It's a battle with yourself. We already did that. And okay, so next thing is the last thing actually, I think, is to plan ahead. I think this goes without saying. You do want to plan ahead, but I'll give you advice in a second, Benjamin. But with planning ahead, you want to make sure you have different pathways. It's kind of like alternate timelines. Like you want to have your A pore, your B pore, and if both of those mess up, your C pore maybe, or like a pivot. And this is true in like conversation. It's good to have like a pivot. It's always good to have one in the back of your mind, especially in like professional settings. And this also kind of comes down to like improv too and how good you are on the spot. But it would be much better when you're in a competition that you had something prepared if the worst case scenarios happened, than rather having to improv. So one thing that I do is I tend to go in with an idea of the pour I'm going to do. But sometimes like the milk won't be right. And so if it's too thick, I'll pivot to something more flowy and I'll avoid certain pours. And I know that in my mind because I planned ahead. Or I'll pivot to, I'll go up there with multiple pitchers designed for different pours. So I'm like, oh, I botched my milk. We're moving to Rosetta, right? And maybe I was going to do a tulip. It's good to go in with one plan and do that plan. As soon as you start to deviate, you mess up. But it's also good to have a backup. Backups have saved me. The thing you don't want to do is not have a plan and not have a backup. So one time I used to be like, oh, I'm only going to take one cup because I'm only going to pour one drink. I was very confident in that. Maybe I was cocky. And there have been times I needed to like get a second drink out and I would have to go rinse my cup and it would take time and it gets dirty and not ideal. I needed to plan ahead. I needed 2 cups and multiple pitcher avenues. Just take into consideration what might happen. Pivot pouring is also the most fun because when you pivot pour, like you never know what you're going to get unless you like have something planned. Like when I'm pivot pouring, I have an idea of the pour that's going to happen, but it's so like raw. You never know. So it's good to have a plan. Or if you're just like, when you're like playing around at home, when you're playing around at home and you mess up a pour, I like to kind of mess up again and do crazy stuff just in case so I can like maybe learn something new. Yeah. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've talked about this. So like the idea for an app where you train coffee with like the movement in the pitcher. Yeah. I've thought about that as well. I think that would work really well in like the glasses sector. But also they have those robots that make coffee for people use sensors that reflect off of the pitcher. So like the sensors are on the pitcher and when you move it, it's detecting the pitcher. And that's how they're able to replicate latte art. So yeah, people could definitely do it. It would kind of be cool, I think, to do it. The way I would do it is with the latte art, with the movements. I would make them like Guitar Hero, where like you have to stay within the lines and you get the point for the latte art if you stay within the lines and the right rhythm. It'd be really fun. It'd be really fun. If you make that game, we'll do it on the channel. Yeah. Ooh, my foot's hurting, guys. Oh, okay. How did we feel about that, guys? It was fun, right? Did you guys enjoy having a little lesson? We went through, I mean, I would go through them more in depth on a video, but it was kind of cool. Like, maybe I have some more. Be silly. That's another one. Be silly. Be playful. If you're too serious, you're going to lose. Too nice, you go to jail. And I already said it goes without saying, don't drink coffee. Oh, this is another one. Oh, this is kind of just an extension of the don't. I have a bunch of notes. Go in with a plan, because if you go in off of muscle memory, you will lose. Like, muscle memory is not reliable. Trans people in rhythm games. Is that a thing? I know the thing about sharks. I don't know anything about rhythm games. You have 50-50 foam on top of your oat milk. Sounds like you have way too much air. But it could be that maybe, are you using a professional oat milk? Are you using a barista series, like, or not barista series specifically, but like a barista version of an oat milk? Because that's a big deal. Guys, that was so much fun. We went through like 14 things, I think, or 13, something like that. I don't know. My voice hurts from last night. So we're also going to do something else in a minute. I think we should do the Cockcino roundup first. I think that we should like do that now so that people don't have to wait. But Oatly, interesting. I cannot seem to get my oat milk steamed correctly. It's almost always 50-50. Then you're adding way too much air. Definitely shake before. Oh yeah, that's another good question. Oatly barista or Oatly normal? Yeah. I forget they have the normal. Yo, Oatly are very good friends of the channel. They supported a show that we're doing that's going to come out on this channel in a few months. I think weeks to months. We're going to be releasing an entire, basically a TV show that we shot. Like Ari Alexa's TV show. I can't really say much. I'm not going to say much. Sorry. I didn't mean to reveal, but it's already out there. It's already out there. It's on my page, on my Instagram. But, luckily I prefer dairy. That's funny. I think it's more Gen Z trans people, like 80 to 90% of trans femme people I know. I'm super into rhythm games. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I'm on the cusp. I'm not Gen Z, but I'm like not like the 40-year-old millennials right now. I'm like really I'm at the bottom of that. What's that called? Like on the bottom of that stack. You know what I mean? There's a word for it. I forgot what the word is. But I also like, I kind of think that's the best actually, because I kind of love having a really cool dual perspective on society. Too old but too young. Crazy. Okay. I was trying to make it where we could do notes. So I have like a demo note right here, just fake notes, get closer, lean in, I was just playing around with it. But it's like a whole thing. It like snaps over my screen and then it's just not as easy. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, y'all. Yeah, if you steam your oat milk's like one of the ones, oat milk and like alternatives can kind of sit for a second. You do still have to swirl them right before, but you can let them like start to build up. Advice for Benjamin. I gotta go back. I don't know. Where's their advice for Benjamin? Is that earlier in the chat? I don't see it. Oh. Any advice for somebody going... Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I forgot about this. Any advice for somebody going to their first coffee fest? Get to know everybody. Go say hi. Make sure to take some time at the end of the day to walk around the floor, or even before. It's really nice, but I wouldn't overwhelm yourself too much on day one. I would like try to get past day one. Oh, another thing I was thinking about for shakes that I meant to say is don't even think about day one. Forget day one. Think about day 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you think about day 1 and day 2 when you should be thinking about the finish line? Think about the finish line. But yeah, go in with an open mind. Just go in to have fun and go say hi to everybody. Be like, it's my first coffee fest. And you're going to make so many friends. I swear. It's like a very friendly environment. And then all the other things I said about shakes would be good advice, I think. Yeah, make sure to get there early to get your badge. Walk around, go try stuff. Don't drink coffee if you're competing. If the doctors say post-op, you will only be able to do Cockcinos. What? This is a funny question, though. If the doctor says post-op, you'll only be able to pour Cockcinos because that's just how it works for some reason, would you still do it? Yeah, I'd still do it. I would still do it. It would be, yeah, that'd be funny, actually. I already kind of live that life. Like, I already kind of just pour Cockcinos anyway. I forgot that's still up. I can turn that off, even though I don't think I will. But if y'all want to support, if you have already, don't feel like you have to. But I did have the fund there because, you know, it's nice to like support. And that's just where it all goes anyway. So it is what it is. I have other stuff cool, like other fun things in this. I want to be a little closer to y'all. I feel far away today. Whoa, that's crazy. Uh-oh. I messed up something, y'all. Oh, I hit record. Y'all, I ruined it. Okay. Sorry. I have a disco ball. We could turn that on later. Get a dance party going in here. Oops. How's that? Good? That's better. Sorry, I'm a little picky. My hair's really frizzy today. I haven't done anything. Anyway, okay. Talk about my hair. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. If the doctor said that, I would still do it. I'd be pouring Cockcinos anyway. So speaking of, last night I went to a throwdown, and at the throwdown, I was one of the judges. It was for my friend Zaya, who watches the stream and has been a participant in the stream before. It was their going away party early, like a month early. Like, they're not gone yet. Or he's not gone yet. And so it's like, okay, have the going away party when you go, right? That's my vibe. Anyway, I was judging, and there was these live rounds where we did live Cockcinos. And so there were 8. There were 8 Cockcinos, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about them. In the meantime, though, before we start that segment, 2 things. We're going to play my favorite game. I don't have any sound effects for this yet. And for anybody who's fresh in here, check this out. It's the sleep paralysis demon. It's going to happen when you subscribe. So you should all subscribe. Zaya didn't compete. Zaya was co-judging alongside me and my friend. Yeah, that's right. If you're not subscribed already, get that sleep paralysis demon. Is that the same person? That was the same person. That was me. I hit it twice. Anyway, what's inside the skull, guys? We're guessing again. What's inside the skull? What's inside me? Take a guess. You don't know. It's a new thing. I put new stuff in here. You're never going to know. You think it's a vape? The vape fund. The vape fund. We made the vape fund, by the way. I was able to eventually procure more vapes. Who told me to die? That's crazy. I'll ban you. I'll block you. I'm just kidding. Unless you are real and hate me or want me to die. What's in the skull, y'all? What's in the skull? We'll move on as soon as we guess. Somebody guess. He looks so handsome on camera. Oh, singular for dice. Okay, you're not talking shit. I was like, you're telling me to die? That's like serious. Y'all ready? You want to know what's inside the skull? I had it in there, but I took it out and then I showed it. But it was these little dinosaurs. Well, listen, you never know. I never know. Like, the chat moves so quick. It's hard to know when people are. We haven't experienced a lot of crazy. Like, I don't want to like knock on wood. Dinosaurs are dead. It's true. We haven't experienced a lot of issues yet with the chat, but sometimes in the past I've seen chats get crazy, so I don't know. So one time there was this person, I was working at a coffee shop, and this person across the street worked at a record store, and I thought they were really cute. And I wrote, "Will you go out with me?" underneath the cup sleeve. And they gave me back they brought back later a little dinosaur, and on the bottom of the dinosaur's belly it just said yes. We did go out, I think. It never really led into anything. It was sweet, though. A dinosaur. Yeah, there were 2. It was a set. It's true. Maybe we'll get into I've been in my phase. Do I like vinyl? I don't know. Why do you ask? I have some vinyls in the back. Oh, I do like vinyl. You asked because I told that story. Yeah. Of course I like vinyl. I mean, I'm not like obsessed. I have record players. I like vinyl records. They were just across the street from the shop I worked at. Yeah, I have a really short attention span and memory. So I forgot what I was even talking about. So sorry. Do we like the chat like this? Just let me know. Because I know I'm looking at it. It looks like I'm looking into the abyss from your angle, but I'm really just looking at like that, I'm looking at the screen. My camera might die. Let me know if it does. Okay, so we're going to get into this in a second where we're going to go through the pores. Yes, per usual. I do remember the record player pour over. I do remember that. Wow, that's actually wild. I did this, that was years ago. I did this video where I put my pour over on a record and it was spinning and I just held the pitcher or the kettle in place and it was creating the turbulence in the shape for the pour over. That was fun. That was a good one. I should do that again. I should bring that back. My nose itches. Not like last time. My nose just kind of itches. Last time was wild. I am going to itch it a little more though. I might watch my nose starts flaring up again. I had to go get some medicine for it. So we're going to go ahead and get into, oh no, it's happening. It's actually itching. No, it's not. It's not the same thing. Okay. I'm going to look like Rudolph though, again, like last time. How much does the chroma affect the... I think, yeah, we could do Latte on a record player. That'd be kind of cool. So we'll start with... Oh, I unlocked it. This round from the Cockcino Roundup. Welcome back to another episode of Cockcino Roundup. This time we're going out in the wild. This was at a throwdown last night that I went to, and I was the judge. And these were the first rounds. 4 rounds, and they all had to pour Cockcinos. It was not my idea. I didn't ask them to do this. Zaya asked them to do this. So it was not my idea. Just so y'all know, I didn't condone this. But it is funny, and I did enjoy it. So this is the first round. I just don't even know what... I remember when I saw this, I was like, that looks like a dinosaur. Or like it kind of also looks like a scooter. This looks like those scooters that they banned in New York a while ago. This one over here is just... I will tell you who won in a second. Wait, I forgot who won this round. Wait a minute. I think I voted for this one. Can y'all see my mouse? Can you see my mouse? Because if you can't, I'm going to add it before we go further. I'm just going to add it. I think I need to... Oh, it should be on there. Oh, wait. No, you can't because this is a different thing. That makes sense. Okay, I'll add it right here. I'll add it for you guys. Oh, I don't know if I can show mouse on this because it's a, that's okay. It's just because it's a slideshow. I can't show you the mouse. It's just a weird feature. It's okay. So the bottom, I'll just describe them in where we are. So the bottom one is like, things are going on with this. It's furry. It's chunky. It looks like it's half detached. Like it kind of looks like a zombie version of a Cockcino, Like this section in the middle where I guess the Rosetta chunk of the head, it's a pretty crazy head. Cockcino, it just starts to look like it's going to fall off. It also like the back end, like what's that called? Like, what is that even called anatomically? The shaft is very girthy, as opposed to the other side, which is not girthy at all, and in fact is very twig-like. Now, when you're playing the game of Cockcinos live and you're doing it as a throwdown, the rules completely change. No longer are you dealing with symmetry, execution, balance. You're dealing with different points like pain factor, fear factor, which can go both ways. Sometimes it can be so scary, I'm like, I gotta vote for that one. And sometimes it can be so scary that I would be like, I don't want to, I'm not. Pain factor, right? Size factor, you know, all those things have to be kept in mind. The points change. I think the top won, but I voted for the bottom because I think that the top looks painful. It looks like the sword when they fight in Hamlet right before he gets poisoned at the end or dies or whatever. They all die. To be or not to be. Where's the skull? To be or not to be. A sharp Cockcino. Yeah, I think latte art does need more fear factor. I think that's true. I think we should have more fear factor. So that was a pretty good round. I could be misremembering it, but I remember getting on the mic and being like, just remember pain factor, everybody. And again, I will say, just because, you know, some of these don't make the cut doesn't mean they're not all circumcised. So they can't all win, right? Moving on. Oh, this is part 1 of 2. Oh, they're out of order. That's annoying. This is part 1 of a round. I don't know why I took this photo separately, but I wanted to kind of show it to you because it's just a good photo of it. I love this because of it's just perfect. I don't know how much better you get than that. It's got a nice little zigzag stream. It's consistent. It's maybe a little short, but I just don't think like it's a grower. I think maybe they're a grower. Maybe they are. I don't want to take that away from them. But like, I think they just happened to be softer and made it. I don't think that might be too much for YouTube. I don't think it took them a lot. We'll go to the actual one. Is right here. That's why I did that, because it was hard to see. Maybe what I can do is I can show you guys a little better. Let me see. Unlock this and make it. We're going to make these already big Cockcinos bigger. So I got to scooch over here. So you can see against its opponent, this other one down on the bottom is not the same. It's not the same. It's not any, hold on. This is taking up too much of the screen. It's taking up too much. There. It's not the same. One of them has like some flesh-eating bacteria going on in the back end. It's like a hollowed out hole. This is like the lower. I liked when I had the mouse because I didn't have to articulate exactly which part of the body I'm talking about. You know, the little carriage down there underneath is pointing forward, which is strange. And then you have the one on the back, which we just saw, which is, I think, immaculate. So this one, you know, there's like a little bit of like just a sharpness to it. There's something about it. It did not end up winning. It wasn't a strong enough Cockcino to take this round. And I believe the top one won. I think unanimously. I think that was a unanimous Cockcino. Moving on, all we got to do is go to the last one. There's another round that was pretty impressive. They both poured the exact same style Cockcino. Imagine you go to a throwdown and you're super deep in it. You're in like the finals. And then some judge, Josiah, says, we're all going to do Cockcinos, right? It's going to be fair. And then you lose because you didn't have as many stacks of the little cum part. Like, that's crazy. Imagine losing because you didn't put enough cum drops. Imagine losing because you didn't put enough cum drops. That's crazy. I don't even know if I can say that. It did say it. Now, what ended up happening is we voted for the right side. I think that's what won. I can't recall. Both of these people are friends of mine. Everybody here was friends of mine. The one on the right, I don't love the way that the sack is tucked. It's not my favorite. But I do love all the little dots. And I like that if they're both doing the same thing, it's like who wore it best? Who wore the Cockcino best? You know what I mean? And yeah, I do really love that. The left isn't bad. It's fantastic. It would beat most. However, the attachment placement of the actual shaft and the actual like sack, it looks a little thin. Like, I'm going to zoom in on that. It looks like it's about to fall off. Like it looks like it's like look at that. Look how thin that looks in that connective area. I mean, Both of these are fantastic, beautiful, but only one can be the winner. You know, only one can be so endowed. It's like a fire hydrant. Very full. Very full. Okay, so we'll move on to another one. The next one's going to be really great. So I forget if that's Troy. That should be Troy, I believe. And then to the left is Mark. I think I might have that right. Anyway, I don't want to dox them. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I think the last one, I don't know that I have a very good. Oh yeah, this one's good. Now, I actually don't know if I'm allowed to show this to you. I don't think I'm allowed to show this to you. Technically, this person was like I don't think they're 18 yet. So like I don't think they can technically pour these. Anyway, we're gonna zoom in on this because these are just absolutely phenomenal. This is what I'm into. So when I think of the Cockcino, I think of like any kind of pour that utilizes the Cockcino. It doesn't have to be a traditional style like over here on the bottom. It can be a very excited seahorse. In fact, it's better when it's an excited seahorse. And also, did you know that male seahorses give birth or hold babies or something like that? This is a good example of that. It kind of looks like a boxing glove, like coming out of its torso, you know? Imagine losing because you didn't get enough cum drops. Blaring out the window is crazy. Oh my God, I'm waiting for my curbside groceries. My windows are down, and all of a sudden the phone connects and it says, imagine losing because you didn't get enough cum drops. I'm sorry. I know I made your day worse. So the bottom one is not bad. It has nice shape, but generally it's just like it's underdeveloped, and you know, it didn't have anything to like what I love. I just want to talk about the top one instead. Like that's the instinct I have, is I don't even want to look at the bottom one. I only want to talk about the top one. Are these bubbles next to the seahorse, or are they not bubbles? I would assume in the ocean it would float, right? Like in the ocean when the seahorse, you know, when he, you know, it would float like it would be bubble like. It would be bubble like, I would assume. Chat, what do you think? What do you think this is? Barely legal pours is literally true. It's funny because Dan was talking. He was like, I taught a kid how to pour a Cockcino. He's like, but he worded it like a freak. He was like, I taught him mine. It was horrible. Anyway, don't. If you're underage, don't pour these. You'll get in trouble. Oh, you told the grocery store people to follow me? That's crazy, actually. These are pretty good. Which one would you vote for? Top or bottom? That's fun. Top or bottom? I'll give you guys a second. Not sponsored. Bottom. I have no idea. I think these were pretty small cups. I think these were like 7 ounce, 6 ounce, something like that. I'm going to do you guys one. I'm going to do you something fun. I'm going to make it full screen. I think I can do that. I don't know if it's going to get any bigger. Here, I'm not going to make it full screen, but you can look at them a little better. I really love how it looks like a fist. I love how it like looks like a fist is coming out. You know, that's like traditional. Top for creativity, absolutely. I also want to talk about this seahorse. The seahorse is stunning. Like, I love the ribs. I also love that the seahorse is kind of like sleeping. He's kind of like, oh, just take it, you know. I'm not even paying attention. It's cute. And I love the back wing. I guess, like, you know, that back part of the seahorse. I don't know what you'd call that. I don't know what you'd call that. I love the little unicorn horn. That's really cute. Wow. I just really love this ribbing too. That like in the actual ribs. It's not what it would be called, but it's beautiful. And again, the floating cum is cool. Oh, how convenient that would be. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, these are pretty good. Bottom for girth, bottom for girth, and top for execution is crazy. It's all about how you finish, though, right? Get out of here, matcha pores. All right, y'all. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna put on some stuff for y'all. It looks so peaceful. I know. That was a pretty good Cockcino roundup. Make sure to go. We'll do more of the Cockcino roundups from the Discord too, but that's next time. We'll save that for next time. So if you have a Cockcino you want to upload, you should go do it now. Now. Bonus points if it's animals. Actually, no, that sounds weird. Not bonus points if it's animals. I don't want to encourage that. All right. So I'll be right back. Let me see what I want to put on for you guys. What do I want to do? I had some really fun intro stuff earlier, but I think I'll just play the same thing because it's nice to look at. Wait, that's the wrong one. This one. back. I have so many of these. I have a few. I make new ones every other day of just random stuff. I have fun. They're fun. I think they're really fun. Really, sincerely. I can't just say it 3 times. I am going to eventually move all this to Discord, just so you know. It'll still stream through YouTube, I think. I'm going to try to stream through all of them, but I'm going to have there be like a... My hair's doing a weird thing. Like a weird... It looks like a ribbon, which is cute, but it like also isn't... That's not how it's supposed to like be. I need to go do something with it. Anyway, I had a chocolate donut, like a bite of it, and I just think I got it all over me. It's fine. It's fine. Y'all can hear me, right? Yeah, you can hear me. The mic's on. I see it. So, what was I even talking about? Oh, God. What's wrong with my memory? Do you guys like those intros and things like that? I have a bunch of them. I think the kids one is really funny. I like this a lot. I think like that is also... Some of those are videos I use on my Instagram, and then other videos are just videos I've never shown anywhere. Like anyone. They're just like me when I make videos for the channel... I tend to batch them. It just makes sense to do like a bunch at once when you're going to set up a machine and pour drinks. And I do drink a lot of them. Not all of them. I'll take like a sip off of each one just to feel like ethically fine. But I'll batch like 5 drinks. It's nothing crazy. It's not like I do like 30. I used to do a lot more when I was younger. But yeah, it's a very practical, sorry that's loud, practical way of doing it. And I love it. I'm addicted to it. Because it's so much easier. Anyway, let's get into rating some of y'all's cute ass pores, which they are cute. You should all be so proud. You should all be so proud. You're so good. That being said, I'm also going to like read you all to filth real hard in a minute. Let's do it. How are we doing in the chat? Chat's quiet. Can we get like some likes on the video? I feel like this video has, I don't know how many it has. It doesn't tell me. The chat rate is at 0. That's sad. We're going to move everything to Discord. That's what I was saying a minute ago. So we're going to move things to Discord. We only got 14 likes. We've had too many people in here to only have 14 likes. I hate to be that person to ask you guys to give likes. But I'm also shameless, and I don't care to ask if it helps us. You know, whenever I see the metrics later, YouTube counts every time y'all send like a little heart and stuff. And it like peaks. So somebody sent like 100 last time, and it peaked, and it was really cool to see that metric. It's really cool. I don't know. Also, if you're not subscribed already and you're checking this out, you should subscribe, because every time you do subscribe, the sleep paralysis demon comes out. Good luck getting sleep. And I love the sleep paralysis demon. Hi, cat. We're going to deal with the cat today. Again, she just woke up from her nap, a little cat nap. Sleep paralysis demon. Everyone's favorite. Hello, if you're not already subbed to sub. And then, yeah, that's a fun little widget I've been working on. If you want to support the channel, or if you want to support me, you can donate to my little fund, which is just in the super chat. If you want to, if you already have, don't feel like you have to, but everything helps. And it would go straight to all my medical expenses. Haha. It's actually better if you go through my Venmo, or if not through my Venmo, if you go through my donation thing, like in my... That's crazy. Maybe you should turn on for lives. I don't know if it does tell you if I'm going to go on live, but that's so weird. Yeah, but if you ever go to my Instagram and you look at my bio, there's like a GoFundMe there. If you go there, it's not as heavily taxed as YouTube does. Just saying. Anyway, I love you all. So let's get back into it. We're going to talk about some pores. I got to open up the pore thing. You guys can see it. Yeah. That worked. Fantastic. Mark is red. I don't need to see this. So the last time I accidentally skipped a few people because somebody was like, go to my pore. And I actually didn't realize that I skipped a bunch of people. It's so crazy that the bell is on and you're not getting any notification. I feel like this channel is not telling people when we make things. It makes sense if like it's just not what people want to see. That's one thing, and like the vibes, but like I've been hearing from a lot of people that they're just not receiving any notifications, and that really is like stressful, actually. It's okay, because I'm not reliant on anybody. we have other ways of talking to people, communicating with you guys. And we have 22 people concurrently through the entire thing, which is, the first time we did this, we had like 100 almost. We had like 90. But 22 is good. It's not a bad loss. It's just like, I think a lot of people were like, what is she doing? And now it's like, oh, you're doing this, which we will change in the future. I'll pour for you guys. We'll chit chat. We'll hang out. We'll order more pizza funds. Where is it? We got to do the thing. The pizza one. The pizza one's good. That one's really good. We got to make sure we get pizza next time. And yeah, I guess we're just going to keep chopping away at this big list of people who have submitted their pours, either just for like to see or for fun or for critique. I was thinking about this the other day. I never necessarily said these would be for critique. Maybe I did. But if people are just like, why is she blasting my pour? What is that? Why is she roasting me? I'm sorry. I didn't pre-warn you. I have a bad habit of that. Let's get started. We're going to go with It's Jerry. I think we may not have seen this one. I would assume maybe not. Maybe we did. I like that they... Wait, hold on. I'm going to turn off the volume. I'm going to go back. Sorry. Come here. Good technique with the swirl. I like that you dumped because you probably need to, but I don't personally prefer when people have to dump. Like, ideally you just have the right amount of milk that you need so you don't have to dump milk. Cat, I agree. Don't have to dump milk. Come here. Come here. Yeah, come here. Come say hi. It's cat time, guys. Cat time. Come here. Everybody wants to see you. You're always loved. Everyone loves you. Come on. Come up here. Come up here. Dolly. Oh, I got her. It's kind of hard to get her. Oh, wait. I should be careful. Last time I did this, I got allergy attacked. I'll just say hi. I won't kiss her in the face. You caused the end of a stream the other day. She's so funny. Get out of here. Oh, she jumped. Yeah. We're okay. Let's start this over. How much for the cat? You can't have her. She's my baby. I birthed her out of a place you'd be so surprised. So surprised. Matter of fact, my ear's kind of itching today. It's weird. Matter of fact. Cockcinos. Oh, the other one's above it. That would have been much funnier if it was below it. Damn it. That's okay. I'll plan for next time. I'm trying to get so many little like cues on this thing that it will one day, our lives will feel really fun. Like if they're not already fun, at least hanging out and, talking, maybe you're making dinner or something. I love lives for that. That's like what I do when I'm at home. But normally it's easier when people be talking more in the chat. They can interact with you guys. But I guess that's just like the downfall of talking about a thing. Like when I'm looking at something and I'm critiquing it, I should make sure I don't have any cat hair on my face. I don't feel itchy. I'm just double checking. I just don't want cat hair on my face. Yeah, I don't know. I lost my train of thought again. It happens. Let's get into this pour. I love that you swirl your milk a lot. I don't like that you have to dump. It's fine that you did, but maybe don't have too much milk in the first place. Integration is nice. Maybe stop a little bit sooner. Maybe not. It looked pretty good, but your cup does look pretty full, which is so strange. Could just be the angle from that top down, but looks very full. So maybe your shot's really big or your cup's really small. It's hard to say. You kind of just throw in the pitcher. It'd be better if you found a way to either land the spout backwards and push or like create some kind of current. But your ripples are fantastic. And I know what you're doing here is you're doing like a swan. Yeah. You kind of like go a little fast on the neck and back. I think you can go slower on the neck and pull it back up and then do the little head. And then on the wing, you see, I mean, you already know that you got this little thing going on right here, which is good. Oh, I'm glad y'all can see the mouse. That's good. You got this little thing going on right here. It's just because you kind of do this weird motion before you go back in. Whereas if you kind of just like lowered down the pitcher and just went back in forward, it wouldn't really do that. Watch. Right here. Instead of this coming down and then over, you just like get close with the spout right here without going sideways. Keep going north. North? I guess towards yourself. Whatever. It's not north. And then like lean in with the spout and drag it down. Or you could, yeah, you basically do that here. And then like the less you whip around the milk, the less you're going to get these kind of triangular bits right here. Just like kind of move over gently so that it doesn't create that kind of whiplash effect. It is kind of, I don't know, it looks like your swan's like kind of contorted. Beautiful shape, beautiful color distribution, great wing. It's just like a little bit like nuances you want to fix here and there. Your picture is interesting. It's a bell shape. It's unique. But fantastic pour. You should be proud. I just would say those are the things I would want to like zip up a little bit, tighten up. Hey, Luna, there's your pour. We're going to skip this because it's not a video. Did we watch these? I don't know if we watched this one or not. We might have. It's okay. We'll watch it anyway because we're going to get right through these really quick and then we're going to go to the new ones, which I might need y'all's help if anybody was here last time. I'll try to find it. I think I remember what it looked like. I feel the milk. I feel like the milk I pour is too... I feel like the milk I... Dahlia, stop it. Come here. Go take a nap. I feel like the milk that I pour is too thick and I struggle to get flowy, to get flow smoothly within the cup. Sorry, I'm illiterate today. Dahlia got me all distracted. I feel like the milk I pour is too thick and I struggle to get it to flow smoothly within the cup. Let's find out. Let's find out. Okay. Okay. Hey. 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 She does this thing. I'll show you. She has a cat wheel. She's on the cat wheel. Oh, wait. The Discord's in the way. Hold on. She's running for y'all. She's saying, rev up Emily's surgery goals. Anyway, I gotta go. I hate to do this. The thing about her wheel is that she loves it and she'll run on it. But if you don't give her attention, then she'll scream on it. And she won't stop screaming until the wheel has been taken off of the wheel platform. So I gotta go be a wheel bitch and remove that wheel bitch. All right. I'm gonna put you guys on hold for just 1 second. In the meantime, what should we do? What should we do? We just did all of them. I don't want to do them all over again. I guess we did this one last time, but this one's good. Okay. That was loud. Fixing everything. Okay, you guys like the overlay. That's great. I'm glad you think the overlay looks right. Is the chat like in the right spot? It's kind of hard. Is it kind of cut off at all? No. I moved it a little bit, but that should be good. Let's get back into it. Oh wow, my cat is using the bathroom. I'm gonna mute that for you guys for just a moment, so you don't have to listen to that. She's much better now. She's scratching around, but she's not like whizzing or anything anymore. Thank you, Donald Duck, for shouting out those questions. I was not going to get to them. Oh, she's scraping that box. Here, I want to put the thing back on. What? Great. Let's find out. Let's watch this. So day 38 of pouring a rosetta. Damn, it takes a long time. You know, I'm not saying you're taking a long time. It does take a long time. It's just that just does. You said that you think your milk is too thick. I would say your milk is maybe a little too thick. Definitely has a lot more foam content than you need for the rosetta. But before we even start the pour, I can already tell you where you're kind of missing some of the goals. Is you've integrated too much, which again, this is like the most common thing I've ever given advice on. If you ever see a video where I'm like, my most common advice, it's going to be like, start sooner. And that's when I'll start pitching that shirt where it just says start sooner. You got to start sooner. You got to integrate less. I think that you... Oh, you're being freed of your latte art block? That's great. I don't know that there is such thing as a block. I feel like we just go through phases of... Yeah, just phases. You know what I mean? Like we just have different versions of ourselves. But so right here, you need to integrate less. You need to start the pours sooner. And I do think you have too much foam. I don't think too much foam, but I do think you have a little too much foam. You need to swirl that milk more. It doesn't look like you're swirling the milk enough, and it's just making everything stiff. You have the ripples, which is awesome. Like you have actually perfect ripples. There's another one. So I would have actually, these are, wow, hold on. Why is it so choppy? At this point, you're just like pushing foam into foam. It's very thick foam. And so it'd be easier for you if everything was more fluid. And you can even see when you're pouring here, it feels and looks more fluid. I would have started right about there, tilted the cup even more, and then leaned in and let that, rosetta drift away from you and start doing your exact same ripples. And you'll get a lot more color. It'll look better. It'll slide around versus filling up that much. And you have like a lot less room in the cup. And by that point, everything's stiff and you just got so much foam. And I'm also curious if at the end, it's hard to see if you had too much liquid in the pitcher, but hard to tell. And by the texture of this, I mean, it's sat out. It looks like it's actually not the worst texture. It just looks like you should polish your milk more. It looks like you need to swirl the milk more. And maybe during your steaming process, you could be like getting more of a polish going on. I don't really know. You didn't send a video of the steam, but it just looks a little crunchy, but it doesn't look too thick. That's like, it's a weird thing. Like you have a little too much air, not too much air though, but the texture's wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? So work on it. Otherwise, it's actually really great. Like I need a compliment sandwich. It's really good. It is. But you can open it up. You can loosen it up if you start sooner and go a little less on the, or polish it more before you change all of your techniques. I would say that. I would say polish the milk more. See if that helps. Start sooner. And if that doesn't help still, then change your texture a little bit. We looked at this one, I think. I don't really have anything to say about this. More consistent. I don't think that matters if you switch between forearm rippling and wrist rippling. Just ripple. You know what I mean? Just ripple. I wouldn't say anything negative. I think this looks really good. It looks like a great free pour pattern. Like we said last time, I think there might just be a little too much water content, maybe just a little bit. And you could just focus on your tight ripples. Another thing you can do is I've seen a lot of artists hold the pitcher from the back instead of from the front. So like instead of pinching it here, a lot of people hold it back here so they can go faster and get kind of that tighter little wave. Ooh, that was loud. That's a technique you could employ if you want these to be tighter. I like this head a lot. I like the head. I do. I think it looks nice. Maybe you lose a little bit of foam content here, but otherwise, I think you know what you're doing. I don't see why you want me to go at you. There really is so little free pour content. You looks like you have generally the texture right. Maybe a little less liquid. I would love to see you film it. You should send in a video next time. Unless you already did and I haven't gotten to it because it takes us 1,000 years to get through these. All right, this is the last one before we skipped last time. I love this Breville. It's beautiful. Oh, it's a sage. It's European. We have a nice montage sequence. Did we watch this last time? Nice. That's pretty great. I don't know what you want me to say. That's actually really nice. I love there's certain things you're doing that I just love that you're doing it. I love you integrate a lot, but it's fine. You could integrate less. Start sooner. I love that you create this current. However you want to create the current, create the current. But when you create the current, look at that. Look how quick those lines just drift away. It's beautiful. Look, drift, drift, drift. You get all that color. I would say maybe, if you start a little sooner, you'd be able to fill the cup up more, and those wings would kind of expand up to the top a little bit more. Then when you push in, they would follow up with your rosetta. There, it does kind of look like it's not following you, which it makes sense. I take back everything I just said. Your cup is super big because you're at the end of the rosetta and the cup is not even full. That's crazy. I didn't even register that. From this angle, is it like a tall cup? That's so weird. No, it's just, it's like a tulip shape a little bit, but weird cup. Anyway, I take back what I said. You start in a great place. I would maybe even start later. I don't know. Your cup is weird. It should fill up faster. Oh, it's just because okay, guys. Sorry. I'm tripping. It's an optical illusion. It's the way it curves at the top because it is that tulip glass. It makes it look like there is a lot more space. Like when you think about like those little bartender measuring things, just that little difference of an angle can create a lot more liquid. But for rosettas, I tend to like it when the base comes up to the top and gets wrapped into the stock. For that, you might want to fill this cup up more, which is counter to what I normally say, or add more ripples and take more time. It's just interesting how much space is left by the end when it looks like you're integrating the right amount. Maybe your cup's just big. I really like this pour. Like I said in the beginning, my only note would just be to have that base wrap up at the top, and I think everything will look more symmetrical. And then when you cut through, don't like drag it through so much. Try to preserve those leaves and try to go through evenly so that each side has the right amount of brown in between because you have really nice pockets of brown. Zip tie? What? Oh, sorry. I see y'all are chatting. All right, moving on. I gotta find the one we left off on last time. Did we talk about this? Did we watch this one? Guys, I'm stressing. No, we definitely... Wait. This might be where we... Is this where we left off? I think this is where we left off. I think I did comment on this one. So... Okay, great. This is my partner, Coffee by Joe's first try at a phoenix. Let's go. I love a phoenix. The phoenix will rise. Ooh, that was cool. Okay. We saw this one? Or is that a delay? Let me know. I still want to talk about that base a little bit. Maybe we did talk about this one. Okay. Was just waiting for chat to see if y'all knew anything more than I knew. I've always thought about there being two ways to, set a frame. This makes three. I forget you can do this. I don't know how to do this. What just happened there? You can land and you can create a frame by following the picture. You can take a cup, land, and make basically a monk's head where you're moving the picture while you're making a monk's head. Or you can create that current and follow with it quickly. So you're always the picture's always right here, which creates that crescent shape. Or you can do this and you can just throw it in there. I have no idea how well look at that. Watch. It just took to the espresso like butter. It glides on top. They don't normally do that. That is very good texture. Probably high fat milk. It definitely looks like it flows like high fat milk. It also looks a little on the yellower side, which could just be the white balance, but you have a very white shirt. And high fat milk it can kind of be a little more yellow sometimes. That's not universal. That's just my experience. But the way it flowed out is crazy. And it's shiny, great texture. That's such a cool way to make a frame. It saves you so much milk. And it creates kind of a thin frame. But it's not the same as a normal push. It's like a throw it's like a throw, stay with it, but stop, and then it just happens to take into the espresso. It's a phenomenon. I get excited when I don't know what to say about it. I get excited because it's like not something I think I could just do without having to practice it like a lot or have the perfect circumstances. I have some very high fat milk in the fridge right now that we will pour with soon. This will be really fun. Okay. I like that. Ooh, that was kind of nice. That was really nice, actually. I love how the head of the swan was like a little circle. Look at this. Watch this. It goes in a circle. Look, it goes in and then back and then around back in. It's kind of like a really subtle. You see that? So cool. Interesting. I've never thought to do that. I don't know that it helps. I would pinch that neck a little bit more or that beak a little bit more by sinking it. But again, if this is your first Phoenix and you were just like, I'm just going to go for it, that's actually really fantastic. Maybe for this layer, you could put this layer closer. So if you want the base to fully wrap around the layer has to either be pushed deeper or get closer. And you could also do both. And so for this case, you're too high up right here from this section for it to just immediately wrap for the amount that you're about to pour. If you had kept going, it might have wrapped eventually, but in general, you'd want to be like an inch closer. I don't know, like you just want to be much closer. You want to be like right in front of the base so that it immediately wraps and you don't have to like follow through as much and use more milk. I like these layers. They could have a little bit more openness, but I wouldn't change that. You'll get that when you start to move location. I just love this milk texture. This is like dreamy. It's a little thin, but it's like dreamy milk texture because the way it slides around is great. It's kind of fun what you can do with really thin milk, though I don't always encourage you to go really thin. Great ripples here. Maybe a little choked up. Really nice drawdown. This is like notoriously a much harder ripple because now you're dealing with a lot less liquid. So it's not going to make a wave as easily, right? Because there's less liquid. And it's also more foam content than you had before and less liquid. So the ratio is different. This might be one of those circumstances. I don't even know what you'd do to fix that. People are much better at this than I am. This is not my exact skill to comment on. I'd probably lean in a little more for these wings because they would need a little bit more liquid to make them do the wave. But I don't really tend to pour this, so I like the way you drew down. I love this neck. And then the little swoop is great. Just pinch that beak. That's a really great pour for like your first time doing it. I'm surprised. This is my partner, Coffee by Joe's first time at a Phoenix. Smiley face. That was freaking sick. That was so sick. All right. Have we done this one? I just don't remember. I just accidentally downloaded it. That's crazy. Okay, leave me alone. I didn't mean to download it, but now I have your pour. I meant to click this. Doing it over the laptop is crazy. This is wild. I don't understand the desire to do this over your laptop. I do it over a rug, and people give me a lot of shit for that. You're doing it over an electronic device is wild, but also really impressive. I'm also really impressed. I think you might be a badass. I bet you own a leather jacket and I want to hang out with you. That's the vibe I'm picking up. Is generally like we should go get a drink somewhere. Let me move the chrome over. I think it's going to look a little better here. Don't snap. There. A little more open. I can make it bigger now. How do I do that? That's the wrong thing. Yes. 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 That's good. Yes. It's not even though. It's not even. It's okay. I'm not going to freak out about it. Moves it around. Oh no, it's not going to let me do that. Okay, wait. We're just going to go back to that. Sorry. All that for that. Oh no. Okay. All right, let's go back. Bad boy's going to be bad. Confidence wins, I fear. It is pretty wild to do this. I think it's just, I do like that you transferred milk. It's nice. All right, let's actually watch the pour and let's not comment on, and what are you watching? It looks like an old sitcom or something. Does anyone recognize that background there at the bottom? That background there at the bottom with the zigzags? Nice. Okay. I got thoughts. I have lots of thoughts actually. So generally you want the shape to be a little more round. I think that's one of the goals, and I think you know that. And we want all these layers at the top to wrap in. So we're going to start from scratch. We're going to start from the beginning, and I'm going to pick through how we kind of get there. I love how you drop in with a nice like forward flow. You do create some space. You do get great color. Your ripples are fantastic. More ripples would be nice. I'd like to see more. You also integrate, I think, a perfect amount. But I do still want to see more ripples. I also want to see you find a different way to get this base moving. Just pouring in forward is fine, but it doesn't give you the separation that's going to create all this brown you're getting here throughout the rest of the base. See, you're following through and then it all kind of gets all white and filled in. And it's not as rounded. You're not really throwing it to fill the cup up. You're kind of just staying near it, and the closer you are with that rhythm, the more it's going to kind of warp the sides a little bit. It would just be nice if you had a different way to launch it so you caught more color, so it flew to the back better. It would just be nice. I think you would like the results a little more if you either did some kind of like laying it down drift base or push base or something like that. Even just like a little nudge before you do your lean in would be helpful. And right here, if the intention is to wrap this layer, you want to get closer or deeper into that first base. If it's not to wrap it, then you want to stay further away. But you kind of half wrap it. You're half wrapped, and then you don't end up wrapping it here. And so it's like pick one, right? I don't want to take away from you. I do this by accident all the time. But either have them separate and they climb up, right? Like this. Or have them wrapping, and so they have like this really cool ring effect, and they like look like a stamp, and it looks really cool. Either one is fine. This is also totally fine. You do whatever you want. I'm just saying, like, pick one, and it'll feel more consistent all the way through aesthetically. But I do like the ripples. You were really pro at rippling. Just more ripples in the base. These layers, I think you could take your time. It looks like you don't have enough milk. I think you could push them in deeper, scoop them up a little more, and fill them in a little more. Take your time here. And then the next few, that one was good. Hold it a little longer, as with all of them. But these ones right here, you start to get an inconsistent amount of brown that you did with these three. So these two, I guess there's two after the first one, are very, very tight with their brown. And then this one, this was the first layer you held the longest, so it filled in the most, which kind of like shot you in the foot, even though that's the advice I gave you. You want to, whatever you do, you want to do it consistently all the way throughout. Because as soon as you start messing it up, holding it too long or getting more distance, you're going to get inconsistent shapes. It's not going to fully wrap all the way around. That's not the goal. So right here, you want to get either closer or hold that layer less if you're going to be throwing layers in like that. See, now it's a different shape. And then this one is a deeper, dark, more thick ring. And then you did it again. And this time we didn't push deep enough and didn't hold long enough before the cut through for it to all encapsulate fully. It kind of does, but it's like it's not tucked in all the way. So you want that last layer to really get driven in the deepest, and you can hold it the longest too to really establish it, and then guide through with the cut through, which kind of helps even it all out. I will say, you clearly know how to ripple, which is the hardest part. You know how to integrate. You have great tools. I mean, your cups look great. Your pitchers are great. The way you started your pour is pretty good. It could be a little sharper. And then just like how you're doing your layers, you can take more time on them, And then how you're shaping things, consider if you want it to wrap or not. And that'll help you pick a trajectory for how you want to shape this pour. I still think it's like a solid pour and you should be proud. But don't ever pour in front of your laptop like that again. These are cute. These are cute. They look kind of like wispy in the feet, so maybe you need a little more like less liquid content, but still so cute. I loved it. I love this. I like this one more. Wait, this is a different pour from the same person. That was nice. That was a nice one because this one's better. This one's better. We'll talk about it too. This one's much better. Again, you're doing the same thing. You're not holding these layers long enough. Hold each of those little hearts at the top hearts. You can tell I'm tired already. Hold the top hearts longer and make sure they get an equal distance. And it's gonna really look nice if you do. Don't be afraid to get more brown when you're doing it. Like get more distance in those first 3, but just continue to do that once you start deciding to do that. Absolutely love your middle tier here. I love when you can see a little bit of brown pocket in the ripple in the middle tier. It's kind of hard to do that sometimes because you're driving it forward. And if there's a little delay within you driving it forward, you'll create that like more brown because you're kind of getting a little more flow before you zip it up. But absolutely fantastic. I love your wing here. I love how you get that distance from the picture. You let it drift away. This is nice. You kind of let it drift away. And you're getting some movement. And so you're getting all that color. Then you follow through, I think a little early, but you do follow through and you push forward, which is what helps shape your base. It's really nice. I really do like that. I think this is an improvement on your last one. Here you actually wrap the layer. Looks good. If that was your intention. If it wasn't, then you want to come up higher in the cup, up here. And if you wanted to wrap even more, you'd come like right here. Same principle applies to hollow hearts. If you want them to wrap immediately, you land them here. If you want to get more large hollow hearts, you have to start up here, but you have to drive it in deeper, which can get you more foam that arises from the bottom. It'll have to shape this more rounded. It'll look cool, but it might be a little more eggy. There's consequences, give and takes, it's all that kind of thing. Goldilocks zone, right? Can we get some love in the chat? Can we get some likes? And can we get some love? And also, Emily has her little surgery fund. If y'all ever want to donate, feel free to. It's through the super thanks. If you don't, it's fine too. And also make sure you have the bell on. Apparently it does and doesn't work, but it doesn't hurt to have it on. Because we do this. We do this. It's true. I like this one a lot. I really think this is an improvement. You said, I think in the comment, you said you feel stuck at this stage. There's absolutely improvement. Okay, listen, if you feel stuck and you think you're good, which you're good, but like if you feel stuck at that place, how do you perfect every single layer? Like you're not done. I'm not done. You're never done. Like Jim said in the cow video, you'll sleep when you're dead. Trigger warning for the word dead. Oops, said it again. Wait, I want to read what you said in the beginning. I still need to practice my ripple and make sure it's consistent, just like Emily said. Yeah, you better. That's right. I'll come to your house. I'll beat you up. Nice. Now you'd stop. Maybe it's fine. These are good ripples. I think just like swing it a little more swing. So a little more force in your ripples. Your milk needs to be swirled a little more, I think, because it's not really like, your spout is so narrow. It's rounded, but it's one of these like narrow kind of bell-shaped pitchers that a lot of foam can kind of get stuck up in here. So you want it to just be a little more polished, not necessarily thinner, but like looser. Could be thinner, but looser is more what I'm saying. Like loosen your milk more, and that'll really help. Great placement. I do love your ripples. I just think ripple a little wider. So like right here, ripple wider. And it'll just be easier to maintain them too. I like that you moved forward and pushed up. Yeah, you have some inconsistencies with ripples. What I would say, what I usually recommend to people is to practice. I mean, I've told you guys this before. To pour water in like a big pitcher and practice from the side. So like swing from the side, like this. Oh, thank you, Donald Duck. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I sincerely appreciate that. You're also like a long time viewer, so you're like the GOAT. you're goated. I need to get you guys like special rewards for being goated like that. But pouring from the side of the pitcher will help you create a very large wave. And over time, you can start to kind of transition that to a smaller wave. But it's all about the feeling of maintaining a wave. That's why I like to use a bigger pitcher with a wider side, because that's how a wave works, right? It comes out more naturally. So you're getting the feeling of just keeping a wave going at the same size. You're not making constant wiggles. You're just keeping the wave moving at the exact same pace, right? And that takes inputting energy at a certain pace, not necessarily constantly rippling, though there is that you do constantly kind of ripple depending on what you're going to do. But create that big wave and then work back towards a smaller one, but it should be wider. And that'll help you. I would have landed down closer to the surface to do the neck right here so that it's stuck. That way you have some of the neck to be visible. Kind of disappears. I do like your heart here. Maybe don't drag through it so much so it's not as elongated. But yeah, come down, stick the neck, come back up, do the heart. Don't swoop it as curved, and do it more just like straight to the side of the neck. Just a little bit to the side. It'll look really nice, I promise you. Otherwise, really fantastic. You definitely have the spacing correct. This is placed perfectly. This is placed perfectly. The neck could be a little better. It's okay. And your ripples are good, but you need to practice them a little more. And that sounds kind of condescending. Practice making them wider. That would be my biggest note, I think, here for you to take home as homework. So moving on. Still not bad. Very nice. I like your cup too. Not bad. I feel like we've looked at some of these. Oh, I want to start doing a thing. First, let's see if we've seen this one or not. I don't know. I think your milk's a little too thin. Milk looks a little thin, and you start way too soon for how thick your crema is, especially because your milk's so thin. So start sooner. Have more air. You have not enough. You just don't have enough air. That's going to hold you back completely. All right, I'll make a video on rippling. That'll be something I work on. It's a tough one to explain. It's very practice oriented. Practice with water for sure, but it is tricky. It's like learning how to like strum. You know what I mean? It's like a finger thing. Jesus, I don't know what's going on out there. But yeah, so start a little sooner. I like how you dropped in. You kind of just guided it in, but you know, it's a good method. And ripple wider and have thicker milk for sure. Your ripples are actually really consistent. And your swan like shape is really nice too. We just need a little more air content. Woof. Okay, I'm gonna mute for a minute. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Okay, I will make a video all about rippling just for you guys. Hello, welcome in. If you're not already, make sure to hit the subscribe, because if you do, we get the demon, the sleep paralysis demon. You know how to make this pour. Like, you have the neck right, you have the shape right. It's just that texture's a little messed up. Yo. So good. I love the sleep paralysis demon so much. Would y'all ever want music in the background? Because I can do that. I can get some license-free music and put it in the background. This is fantastic. I don't know if you... Hold on. I don't know if you want me to leave notes on this, because that's just gorgeous. I don't think I have any notes except maybe placement in the cup, and then this layer could be pushed in deeper. Gorgeous. Fantastic base. I'm the music. Aw, that's so sweet. My voice hurts. This is also fantastic. I guess if I had to give notes, I would say there's some shaping issues. Like there's too much of a delay between your push and when you start the ripple. So you're getting some missing ripples here. And then this could be like either tucked or not. Like we said before, either wrap it or don't wrap it. Either push it in deeper so it wraps up here, or go up to the top and it won't wrap at all when you push in, and it'll shape this more. These layers could be laid down a little bit more evenly and held, I think, maybe a beat longer on the first one. It looks a little thin compared to the other two, so maybe you're holding them at a different pour rate. Top heart's flawless. Cut through's nice. Base wing is really great. I would assume you're doing... I would assume you also might have a little too much milk in your pitcher, because the way that it lands and then you can't get close enough and you have a little bit of beige might just be that you have too much milk in your pitcher during that launch. I could also be wrong. I would play with it. I would assume that if you had just the right amount, it wouldn't do that because you'd be able to stay close and you would just like be gliding with it. I don't know though. I'd love to see more from this. This is a fantastic pour. Please submit again. I really have like limited notes here. Limited notes. That one's so good too. I think it's a to-go. It is a to-go cup, which is crazy. A to-go cup's wild. Ooh. Uh-oh, we got more feet. More feet in the video. Guys, I feel like I can't allow this. I feel like I shouldn't allow this. I see you had to downgrade the quality. That's interesting. Why? Did you shoot it in like 4K? Oh, your milk's too thin. That's the only problem. Your ripples were really nice. Your milk is 10,000% too thin. You have almost no air in your milk. That's not a diss. It just is too thin. And if you have more air, you will see that wing show up. You will see that layer show up. These will make more sense. And you'll have to slow down with everything when it comes to the neck and the wing, or the feathers. Nice toesy woesies. You should make people pay you for that. You shouldn't just post it like that, honestly. But yeah, your milk's way too thin. Way too thin. So thicken that milk up. Still good though. Still good. Let's keep going. Another one. More feet. Still too thin. Still too thin. Oh no. Too thin, and then like your espresso's being kind of weird, but I would just say too thin. But that's okay, because that's like easy fix. You just go add more air next time and swirl it around a lot. You know what I'm saying? Really cool way of doing the swan, where you did like this and then you went back in. That's so cool. I'm inspired. Generally actually inspired. If you want to know about how the right amount of milk is, a really easy way to know is to weigh your milk. When I'm practicing or when I'm pouring for camera, I weigh to the gram. Now every gallon of milk is going to be a little different in weight, but like you can get a good idea. Like I generally depends on the cup, but I'm weighing it. Not by the mill. You could do the mill as well though. Mill would probably be smarter because it's more volume based. Than like weight, Luna, did we already watch this one? If you're still here. Did we watch this one at some point? Have I come full circle now? Or is this a new one? Maybe I've seen this one. Because Luna's sent me pours before. How do you know when you've added enough air? It's a visual thing. It's also a feeling thing and a sound thing. So generally it's just about getting light injections. It depends on the machine. Like if you know you're going to work on a very delicate machine, just assume you have to put in air for 10 plus seconds. If you're going to work on a Marzocco, assume you can only put in air for 2 seconds. Time is not the thing to be measuring your air on. I'm just saying assume you have more time, but do the general same technique of injecting air. When you don't have enough air, it'll scream at you. It'll actually scream at you. When you have too much air, it doesn't really make as much of an indicator. So it's kind of just getting past that point where it sounds a little screechy, and doing that urgently, and doing that with tiny bubbles if you can, which is more helpful. And there's not I don't look at the picture and go, oh, I have enough air. And I also don't really even listen. It's my brain's doing all of that. It's the same way you register language. There's a sound to it, a feeling to it. I could do it blindfolded with my ears on or my ears closed. Because it's a feeling too. You'll feel the vibrations. I'm not counting them. I just generally do 3 or 4 light ones if it's a strong machine, 10 or 12 if it's a weak machine. You know what I'm saying? pay attention every time you steam, and then pay attention to the effect of what happened. If you're steaming and it ends up being thin, pay attention. It'll click. It's hard. It's one of those things. I will I'll get you like an exact measurement of the right amount of foam. But every machine's going to be different. Every steam tip's going to be different. Pitcher is going to require different textures sometimes, how you pour, and it is almost never ending. So it's a hard thing to just be like, you have to do it exactly this way. But just get like a good amount of air, like 3 or 4 spurts of air, if it's a strong machine, in there. And a lot more if it's a weak machine. Generally, you're still going to do the same thing. I'm kind of rambling, but it's like, I'll just show you in my video how to really steam milk, which is coming out soon. Soon as in I need to shoot a few more things for it and do the talking head, but I have a lot of B-roll. Let's keep going. Is Luna still in the chat? Luna, if you're still in the chat, please, have we already reviewed this pour? I need to know before we move on. I think I don't want to go as long today. How long have we been going? Oh my God, we've already been doing 2 hours. 2.5 hours almost? That's crazy. All right, let's just watch it. So something Luna's doing here that's really cool is this really cool push base. Maybe a little thin on the texture here. I think just like a little more air content would be better. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Ooh, nothing came up, but it made a noise. Why? No wonder my voice hurts. Why would my voice hurt? Oh, there's a gurgle. Why? I'm drinking tons of water. I had a sip of a Diet Pepsi. Not even diet, just like a Pepsi Zero. I don't know. I just wanted something fizzy today. I wanted something fizzy. Oh, you're saying no wonder because of the time? I see I'd be misinterpreting chat. It's easy to do. I thought you were judging from my soda habit. I love soda. It's a big guilty pleasure. You can tell by how quick I was like, don't judge my soda, because I clearly I have problems with it. I do love it. I don't drink it a lot. I get it as a special treat. Lately, I've been trying to cut back on drinking them as like the sugary kind. I grew up in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Grew up in Dr. Pepper culture, root beer, and all that shit. So I'm trying to cut back, and it's working. I feel good. I usually don't drink it, but it's nice when I can indulge and it's not such a problem. As for this pour, and yeah, talking for 2 hours is hard. And the other time we almost did 4 hours once. That was crazy. That was even more absurd. I want to test. No, okay. So Luna does a really cool thing here where the base gets thrown. This is what I was talking about. This is what I've been trying to kind of explain over the last few lives, is that you land at the top of the cup right here. See how high up we are? And then you land backwards. It's going to form a little blob, and then you guide it forward, and you kind of push through it a little bit. It's almost like when you're at one of those boxing glove games, you want to punch through it. I don't know anything about this. That's just what I've heard. Land, let it form, and then push through it and see how it kind of starts to take off. Now, with a little more foam, it wouldn't kind of break up as much like it does here. Excuse me. And these are really great, though. What you're doing is you're creating that current that's going to give you all that color right in this base. See all that color that's happening? It's because the liquid's moving away. Now, the liquid being thin means everything's going to kind of scrunch up a little weird and get a little square here. But generally, great shape, great amount of ripples. Maybe 1 or 2 more would be kind of nice to see it fill in down here. If your milk is thin and it's starting to wobble around, add more ripples here if you think it's going to square out down at the bottom. Because if you added 2 more ripples in this little section here, this would round out a little more. If you added 4 more ripples here, this would become a triangle, and that's not good. So that's like that improv, what I'm talking about. While you're pouring, be like, oh, it's shaping weird at the bottom. Let me add an extra ripple. It's tough, but if you can get to that point, you can do anything you want. Anything you want. You can pour Cockcinos on top of roses, on top of seahorses that are eating tulips. And then that's a pretty good ripple. Maybe Your milk's just super thin. I think that ripple would have held up better if it wasn't so thin. I like where you put that layer. Helps wrap everything. Looks nice. Those layers can be held a little longer. Again, everything's kind of thin. That layer should have been put up higher so that these don't overwrap later. And here at the end, you don't have any foam left, so it's kind of watery, but that's okay. You clearly know how to pour, and you clearly have beautiful shapes. Also, we've talked about these pours before in like DMs and stuff, so you know what you're doing. I know you know what you're doing. In this case, this is an older one you submitted. It is a little on the thinner side, but the shape is still there. Everything else is still there. I think everyone in chat would be proud of you and should give a heart. I'm going to give a heart. I give 100. Whoops. I'm going to give a heart. It's me who's the one controlling all the hearts that are in my spike. Uh-oh, we got more feet, Nathan. Nathan, stop submitting your feet. I'm going to roast you in lives. It's fine. Your milk has too much foam here. And it needs to be swirled more. But it's maybe not too much foam. Maybe it's nice. I don't know. But swirl your milk more. Polish it more. Ripple heavier on that second wing. Great shaping. You did a really nice first layer. I like this. I don't technically like it when the neck kind of comes over the head. Because like, it just doesn't make physical sense for the swan. But I don't hate this. I actually really like this. I like your confidence in this pour. You were like, I'm going to get in. I'm going to get out. I'm going to pour that thing. Very nice. Ripple wider on this one. You also underfilled a little, so you could have done that. You could have like justified doing that. And it looks like you have a little bit too much water content in your milk at this point. So maybe like a little bit more air. I said your milk was too thick. It's not. That's not. Take back what I just said about more air. Swirl your milk more so that it's more well integrated, so that you have more foam at the end and everything's not all in the beginning. You're just like dumping all your foam in the beginning. Swirl that milk more. Put some shoes on. And you're in. Pretty good pour. Pretty good pour. Let's keep going. Oh, I see a cat. Uh-oh, it's kind of choppy. Let's see. First of all, beautiful cup. Maybe I usually say start sooner. That might have been a little too soon. It's hard to say. That was like not enough liquid, I think. Because if you're going to integrate very little, do it like not aggressively where you destroy the canvas, but higher up and in the middle so that it like fills up underneath the canvas very evenly. But if you just like pour a little in there, it's not really mixing the right way. And you still have this really thick crema on top. I also think you should swirl your crema a little more. It kind of looks like you maybe, I don't know, did you do that? I don't remember seeing you do that. Maybe it's off camera, but I would swirl that a little more. And all right, let's watch. Uh-oh, this happened last time. It just does this. Here, we'll come here. Sorry, I gotta go back. Wait. Everyone looks... I've seen all these, so it like all looks the same. Every time I come back through this, it looks like I've already seen them, so... Soda is life. Ooh, a classic Coke. Nice. What's your favorite soda, chat? I really like root beer. I like cream soda a lot. It's a very American thing for me to like cream soda. I like root beer, cream soda, and I like Dr. Pepper a lot. Some people are like, at Dr. Pepper, I'm like, it just tastes like soda. I don't know what you want from me. Sorry, I got really loud. Have we gone this far? Wait. Guys, this is annoying. I hate doing this. Not the reviewing part, the looking for them. That part. This part's tedious. Okay, we're back in town. We're back in town. This is Coffee USA back in town. Emily's back in town. All right. Yes. So integrate maybe a little more. Your crema, it looks stiff. I think there's something going on with your crema. Your milk also might be a little, your milk is definitely thin and your crema is definitely stiff. Swirl your crema way more and have a little more air in your milk. And definitely have less milk when you steam because you need more air, so it's going to take up more volume and you're already almost overflowing. So less air in your pitcher, which will help you get more air in the steaming process. Then when you integrate a little bit more, like a little heavier so that you're dumping more of that foam in there, but also swirl that espresso a lot And that's going to create that like perfect canvas combination that you're going to need. And you'll be in the club. Great ripples. I love the ripples you do. Which is wild that you're really good at ripples. It's like normally that's the hardest thing people have to learn, but milk will get you. So if the milk's not right and the spro's not right, they don't flow right. The flow's not right. The flow's not right. When should we stop? Maybe we'll stop in a little bit. I don't know. I'm kind of hungry. Should we take a lunch break? Okay, first of all, I love this integration is nice. It's clean. Nice. It's good. Oh, we're on your head. That's interesting. Okay. I would have... Okay. When you integrate, you're doing it correctly. You're adding kind of a lot. It's not that much, honestly, but you could just be a little gentler with that. Just a little. I don't even know, like a few mils less. Your cup shape is like one of these traditional teacups, I think. It looks like it's shaped kind of wide and kind of short. That might be holding you back in your ability to add a bunch of stuff in here, but you definitely flow really nice. This first layer is great. Second layer needs to be closer to it if you want it to wrap. You need to have had to come instead of here, like here. It's not the Blue Man Group. You're not trying to throw a marshmallow into Pac-Man's mouth from across the room. You need to get up close to his mouth and slip it in between those lips. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how you get Pac-Man to eat that layer. And great ripple. It would have been easier for you. Your cup's also almost full. So this is what I mean. Like your integration was perfect, but your cup might not need that much integration just because it's not the right shape, size, or you could just cut back a little on the integration so you could have more room later. Love the second wing. You'll probably get more color if you put it closer and you can just focus on like that forward flow and the ripple rather than having to move so much forward to push it into the middle. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having to come up here and guide it there and waste all that milk, you can just get to the very top and just like ripple straight into it. And that would be easier for you, I think. That's pretty good. I would hold that layer longer. I would definitely hold that layer longer so that it all tucked in. And then at the top, I like that you give it the ripple. It's a good way to leave a foundational heart. Lean in a little more for your cut through. Still really beautiful shape. I love what you're doing. I love the wing being wrapped inside of a layer. I want to see that wrap right there. And I want to see generally your milk does still look a little thin. So I would add like a little bit more air, just a tiny bit, and swirl it a lot more to make up for that. And then do everything else the exact same and get closer on that second layer and hold that fourth layer in a beat longer. And I think you're going to really enjoy the results. Interesting. It looks like you held or took a sip, or you held the pitcher here. It looks kind of like you took a sip though. Where's the exit? Hold on. Hey y'all. Hold on. Hey y'all. Usually when I try to pour my monk's head, I get beige in the butt cheek part. Does this come from the beginning of the pour or the end? Ooh, that's a good question. It actually comes. So if you're talking about this, that's the beginning. If you're talking about this, that's the middle. If you're talking about this, that's the end. So it usually goes that the border is the beginning. So when I do a push base, the frame is the border, right? And then the last thing I do is usually in the center. So the last ripples you do when you're doing a wing will be the ones in the very middle. That's why I'm always like, make sure to keep rippling as you move forward because you're trying to fill the middle with wings, right? You're trying to fill the middle. So you create an established border. You basically throw that border so that it starts to kind of grow and get distance, and then you're filling the insides. That's what a wing is. And that's what a monk's head is too. It's just not rippling. It's just staying still with the flow. So these pockets of brown are coming because you're like either not tilting consistently or staying close enough consistently. You like dig that pitcher in for the monk's head. This little tall bit is coming because you're moving the pitcher back. And then the beige is coming because you are not getting close enough at the very beginning of your monk's head. And that is what happened. And then either you took a sip or you held it a really long time down here. Either one is interesting. Whoops. All right, 1 second. One second, y'all. Someone's like picking up an order outside, so I'm just like pausing for a second. I think we'll do one more with Kyle. How about that? Maybe we can do more. I don't know. Did we watch this one? First of all, wipe your screen. You need to wipe your screen. It's blurry, Kyle. Okay, let me go back. Wipe your lens. That's what I mean. Wipe your lens, Kyle. It's too blurry. Nice milk already. Nice integration. Nice land. Great push. So you kind of like land and push again a little too early right here, but it was a good first initial push. You should hold that push a little longer so that it throws to the back. So like watch. Land, push through, stay, you like, hold on. You re-increased your stream. Do you see that? You went, okay, this is subtle, so pay attention. This is right. You land backwards. You could have landed more backwards, but it's fine. You're going to push this forward. You're going to nudge it forward. This is great. You're about to launch that little mushroom. It launches, and then you lean in right here for some reason. That little extra push that you did, or that little extra like tilt where you're increasing the flow, after you push the mushroom, you want to slow down. Let it get distance. Let the stream be thin and start your ripple. Don't lean back in until after the ripple has started. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why it chunked up on you. So you had a really good moment there. If you had like been a little lighter, it would have just kept going and you could have done the ripple instead, but you like pushed it twice and then you do the ripple and the ripples still look fantastic. That's actually really great. I don't even know why I'm talking so much shit because that still looks really great. But you see what I'm saying? That's going to avoid this kind of like little missing section right here in the wing. See that? The little brown bit right there. Now, if you over wrap it, no one's going to notice. If you like keep wrapping and stuff. But it's a technical thing. You will do better without that, I think. Hollow heart, great. This is kind of what I meant by if you're trying to get a bigger one and you want to start higher, you have to hold it longer. See how you started the hollow there? It looks like it's in the right spot. You could have leaned in a little more and that would have been fine. What's really hurting you is that there's a lot of things going on. What's really hurting you is that these two peaks are kind of far apart. So even if you're not going too high, you're just gonna have to hold it longer for them to eventually come in, which will make a more rounded heart, but it takes a lot more time and milk. So you might want to go a little deeper to make a tinier, quicker heart, or try to have this base come up more, which I think will happen better when you like learn more on that, like that push you did when you kind of tailor that a little bit more. And see how here I would have maybe leaned in a little more. It's hard to say. I would have had to feel the milk, but in the beginning, you want to like lean heavy and you're doing the right thing. You're moving forward and dragging up, but because it's not wrapping, you're moving forward early. And so I think if you just like held it a second longer and then moved forward, it might have helped connect these two right here. I think if you had here landed, held it a little heavier and a beat longer, then move forward. I think that's that little emphasis, that heaviness probably would have helped zip, like kind of close that up. Hard to say. They are kind of far apart. And it wasn't high up necessarily, but it didn't have enough forward flow to really pull it all together. But sometimes that's what you got to do, because if you have too much flow, you're going to get too much foam. And yeah, you understand. There's like compromises you got to make. It's not bad. We do want that full encapsulation though, if you can get it. Oh no, a little spill. That's okay. Otherwise, I really love this. I think try to focus on maybe fill your base up a little more with maybe 1 or 2 more ripples. Make it a little more steep, like a more steep V-neck. That way when you come to the top, it'll wrap quicker. Do a little bit more of a flow on that first push with the hollow right here, a little heavier, then move forward. A little heavier, then move forward. And I think you're in. What do you think, Kyle? It's really pretty. Hollow hearts are hard. You should be proud. I love the shape. I mean, I pour them looking like this all the time. Like, my success rate's not great. These were all so good today. I think I'm going to end it there. I think we had a really fun stream. We did a lot of different little segments. We hung out with the cat. You know, maybe we can do, I don't know. Should we go longer? Should we stop? You should definitely get a hollow for your next round. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. All right, I'm going to end it here. This was such a fun time. I love you guys. Make sure to hit the sub so that you can get the sleep paralysis. And ciao.